Her family was sure she had just been frightened by an online image and was having nightmares as a result, until Jane complained of seeing the Wanderer in her waking life as well. She was convinced it was following her. She would see it even while she was in a room full of people or out in public. Even though no one else saw anything, Jane's family feared for her sanity, but only assured her that the Wanderer wasn't real. Jane, however, only got worse. She began going to extreme lengths to stay awake at night. It started out with caffeine and staying active, but quickly graduated to cutting herself and screaming through the night. Before long, she wasn't sleeping at all. She was convinced that, if she slept again, the Wanderer would take her. Her family knew they couldn't just wait and hope for the best. Jane needed help. But when Jane's mother knocked on her daughter's bedroom door, she received no answer. She carefully opened the door, not wanting to disturb or startle Jane, but she still heard nothing. Jane wasn't in her bed. She wasn't sitting at a computer. She didn't appear to be in a room at all, until her mom checked the closet. There, Jane was found, curled in the corner, blood reddened from her body, having drained from the long slit across her throat. She was clutching a blood-stained note which read, "It can't have me now." Jane's case is not isolated. Through the rest of the 90s, dozens of others went missing or committed suicide after viewing the image of the Wanderer. Since the turn of the century, despite my best efforts at locating the image, it seems to have disappeared. Recently though, I posted on a news group asking if anyone had heard of the Wanderer. I've done this many times before, and usually there's one or two people who have heard the story, but no one has seen the image. This time was different. Shortly after posting, I received an email in my inbox. The subject of the email was, "I can see you." On the body only read, "Do you see me? I can see you too." There was an image attached with the message, "I can't verify whether it's the real Wanderer image or not, but I must warn you that if you choose to view the image, you do so at your own risk." I must have been 6 or 7 when I lived in Lebanon. The country was ravaged by war at the time, and murders were common and frequent. I remember during a particular vicious era, when the bombings rarely stopped, I would stay at home sitting in front of my television, watching a very strange show. It was a kids' show that lasted about 30 minutes and contained strange and sinister images. To this day, I believed it was a thinly veiled attempt on the part of the media to use scare tactics to keep kids in place. Because the moral of every episode revolved around very uptight ideologies. Stuff like, bad kids stay up late, bad kids have their hands under the covers when they sleep, and bad kids steal food from the fridge at night. It was very weird, and in Arabic to top it off. I didn't understand much of it, but for the most part, the images were very graphic and comprehensive. The thing that stuck with me the most, however, was the closing scene. It remained much the same in every episode. The camera would zoom in on an old, rusted closed door. As it got closer to the door, strange and sometimes even agonizing screams would become more audible. It was extremely frightening, especially for a children's program. Then, a text would appear on the screen in Arabic reading,